The District 1 is an extraordinary district. It is Lower Manhattan from SoHo all the way down through the Battery. It's really where New York began. And it runs from the Hudson River to the East River. It's Wall Street, Chinatown, Little Italy.
District 1 is one of the most diverse districts in the entire city. We have some of the highest priced real estate in the city, and we also have the lowest income, most diverse part of the city as well. There's a tremendous amount of diversity and culture.
We are also a very historically significant district. The very southern tip of Lower Manhattan is very unique. There are very narrow streets. Our residential population has grown exponentially since 2000. We're a very high density district.
All of downtown, it became increasingly unaffordable and increasingly inequitable. The pandemic, for sure, has underscored that and exacerbated those issues. Many people were displaced out of their homes. Kids growing up can't stay in this community. I believe very strongly in small businesses as a core element of the fabric of any neighborhood. So there needs to be some way for small businesses to have greater stability in terms of the affordable nature of their business locations.
Another huge challenge in Lower Manhattan specifically has been large concentrations of homeless in our district. There's a lot of discussion about homeless shelters in Lower Manhattan in response to this homeless influx. How do we not just offer interim solutions for these people? We really need the actual infrastructure like affordable housing, access to services, so they have real options to transition into a more stable living. The South Street Seaport is going through a massive redevelopment still since about 2014. That's still a very hot and very contentious issue. Resiliency. We're at a time of unprecedented coordination between city, state, and federal agencies when we talk about how to protect the tip of Lower Manhattan from catastrophic effects of climate change.
Very rightfully so. Recently, we've had an increase in a police presence here in Chinatown because the attacks against particularly female Asian seniors, how do we answer the balance between safety and not over-policing? That's going to be something that the council member is going to have to solve. The right to walk out their door and feel safe. The largest civic project to take place here in probably 50 years is the building of one of the borough-based jails at 125 White Street. What's encompassed in doing that is tearing down two enormous structures. That this is not the right way to look toward a new century of criminal justice reform. If the city can find and hold $8.7 billion for this purpose, then I think we need to really rethink where that money could be spent. Robust investment in mental health care, in clinics, in hospitals and schools, and wellness is much more important.
We need someone who's going to be really working hard for us and listening to us and bringing us into the conversation. Out of this wonderful patchwork of neighborhoods, but really build a community out of all of it in a way that makes our voices much, much louder.
Real engagement and partnership is something that we should strive for in moving forward in a bottom-up way. The residents are the most local experts on what's happening in a neighborhood, what the strengths and weaknesses are.
Whoever the next city council member is has to have a really on-the-ground, intense knowledge of a very diverse group of people, and with an understanding that we're emerging from a global pandemic, the economy is not the same, and the priorities of the city of New York are not the same.